WWE 2K17 has officially broken me, and that's really a feat because up until now I have been super supportive of that series and I enjoyed it. Does it have a ton of flaws and is it probably not classified as a good video game series? Absolutely, I understand that completely, but it was still fun to play and do all the stupid things that you can in those types of buggy, glitchy games. However, 2K17 is held together with so few bits of string that I can't in good conscience say that it's even worth it just to get to laugh at. 2K16 at least you could actually play. 2K17 on the other hand decided to really just make the entire game unplayable. You can't even go through menu systems half the time without something freezing or glitching out. It's absolutely atrocious. So that's what I'm gonna do right now is explain to you the glitches that I've run into so far with this game. And I'm not even gonna tell you about the glitches that happen in-game where you ragdoll randomly or your leg gets stretched out or you get stuck in the crowd or anything like that. No. I'm talking about the ones that happen when I'm trying to play the game at all. So let's start out with the first one being that about 3 times an hour my controller will get disconnected from the game for some reason. And I thought that maybe it was my controller's fault. I replaced the batteries, I recharged them, I did everything I could. And I figured that maybe even my controller was getting broken, but I went and talked to a couple other YouTubers, a couple other people that have the game. They've all been experiencing that issue as well. So that's not so good. If I'm playing your game, then all of a sudden, my controller just randomly disconnects, and no matter what I do, I can't seem to fix it. Can you play the game with mouse and keyboard? Yes, it's entirely possible. It doesn't feel that great, but it's doable. But come on. Controller support is like a staple in your game on every other version of the game, so it makes no goddamn sense. Speaking of making no goddamn sense, this game broke my graphics card. No, seriously, my GPU decided to tell the computer that it wasn't connected, or the computer decided to do it. I don't know. Twice now I've been playing this game and it's crashed and told me that the GPU was disconnected from my computer. You might be thinking, oh, your computer is just terrible and that's why it's happening. I've been playing other games non-stop and it hasn't happened with anything else.
You think this could be historic?
So I'm 99% sure it's WWE 2K17's fault. In fact, I'm pretty sure that my graphics card just wants nothing to do with it, so it's running away as fast as it can. Speaking of my computer trying to get away from the game, I have yet to actually close the game or exit it without the game crashing when I do so. I mean, it accomplishes the same thing, but it's kind of annoying that you can't make a game that you can actually exit without it having to stop the process and interrupt it completely. And at this point, you're like, well, why did you get a game when you knew it was going to be glitchy? I mean, I got the last year version of the game, 2K16, it didn't have these issues, which is why it's even more baffling. I could at least play the game and experience all the funny glitches that would happen and not have to worry about it crashing or disconnecting me a billion times in a row. Speaking of disconnecting, online play is almost unplayable right now. You can't connect to anything. The ping is like, I would say 5,000 at least. It's like, when you're playing online in this game and you want to throw a punch, it basically takes so long, it feels like your character's going to night school to learn how to punch, then he comes back to the arena, then hits him in the face. So it makes online play pretty much worthless to get into at all. Okay, so all that sucks, right? So let's just go and play, say, the My Career mode or the Universe mode. Universe mode has been something that people really like in these games because you get to make the cards, you get to have some control over storylines, all this really cool stuff, right? That sounds amazing. Yet, you can't skip the show intros. You have to watch the intro to Raw, to Main Event, to SmackDown every single time. You can't skip them, and then after the show intro is played and it gives you the little still unskippable shots of the arena while the show's starting up and while the game's loading, there's currently a glitch in the game where the logo shows up on the Titantron and it loops, but every time it loops, there's a goddamn whooshing effect from when the logo first shows up in the first place, so whenever you're hearing Michael Cole do his usual babbling, all you're hearing is
this is going to be a night talked about for years to come.
over and over and over and over again, which I admit is better than listening to Michael Cole talk anyways, but still, it gets a little bit jarring after a while. And then you get into, say, my career mode, and you do, like, a rivalry or something. I took on John Cena. John Cena randomly attacked me on one episode of SmackDown, which doesn't make any sense, but whatever, I can forgive that. That's the kind of silly shit I love seeing in these games because it makes no goddamn sense and I find it hilarious. I went through this entire rivalry with John Cena, beat him in every single match, and then at the end of the rivalry, it gives me a little screen and says that I lost the rivalry to John Cena. That's taking Cena wins lol to a whole new goddamn level. Now let's talk about the new promo system as well. Now last year's wasn't very good either. I mean, the guy that they got to voice act it was like the most generic sounding guy you would ever think of. And they have to have that because they can't just have every superstar voice themselves, and who knows what type of characters you're going to create, so they have to make a voice that fits everything. I get that. In this one though, they literally just took out all the voices. You get some text at the bottom of the screen with these ghastly-looking character models mouthing at them like frogs and trying to, like, make it look like they're saying what the text is on the screen. It looks absolutely terrible, and it's really awkward to look at and sit through. Oh, speaking of sitting through things as well, PSA to anyone who gets this game and wants to stream it, if you stream the game or make a video and have those show intros that I talked about earlier that you can't skip, you'll actually get claimed by WWE on those. So you basically have to take all those out when you're editing the video, which means that you can't stream it at all because after the VOD goes online, or possibly even while you're streaming it, if the WWE claiming bots see that you have that little piece of main event's intro that you can't take out of the video while you're live streaming, you will get claimed on that and you won't make any of your money. So that's absolutely wonderful. I love every second of that. Also, there's this weird thing on the Divas this year where all their butts are like huge. You know, it's not that I'm going to look at their butts, it's more like their butts are looking at me because they're that goddamn big. Like, disproportionate to their bodies big. Like, they look like they're wearing diapers. And not that any of the character models are great. In fact, most of the Divas' faces look like they're melting off. But still, it's extremely jarring to look at. And I don't want to be doing a women's match where it looks like they've both done a doo-doo in their pants. But hey, it's fine, because halfway through that match, my controller's just gonna get disconnected again, so whatever. WWE 2K17 is possibly the worst port I've ever played. It doesn't work. It feels like someone taped a bunch of code together and somehow sold it on Steam. And honestly, if you want to get any of these games even just to laugh at, I would say go and get 2K15 or 2K16 because they work slightly better, but at the same time, they still cost the exact same amount as 2K17. They haven't dropped the price on them at all, so, you know, that's always nice to see. God damn it, why do I do this to myself? Okay, hope you enjoyed my rant. I sure didn't. It was annoying as hell. I know I'm annoying, but I swear this game is more annoying than me. Anyways though, if you did like this video for whatever reason, you can go support me. Thanks to all the people that have supported me over the last little while on both VidMe and Patreon. If you want to do that, there's links to that stuff in the description below. I'd be super appreciative. I am PattyJack, and I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day.